Hey everybody, welcome to Records of Evil, a game of villainous characters trying to do villainous things in a modern day setting, when they are totally just normal generic fantasy characters. So we'll see how that works out for them as we continue. So briefly, if you missed what happened last time we played, so apologize that we were off there for at least a week, just some of my own scheduling. But last time, we had a adventure where they got jobs at a nightclub that provided interesting services. We'll put it that way.
It was basically a strip club.
That's the nice way of saying it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it was something much worse.
It probably is.
Oh yeah, no, it 100%.
It's a mix of all of the things. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. But yes, it was a club for shorter men to meet larger women. Put it that way. Mm-hmm. Or at least to be impressed by them. Anyway, so why don't we kind of go around and have how all the characters are, who you are, and like what's going on with your character right now. We'll start for Sal. Worm.
Yes, I'm Diamond Worm, playing for Cell. The lizard folk. I don't know why. Like my brain was like, Dragonborn. Wait, no, that's not right.
It's been one of those days, weeks, months. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yes. And Mishka, Jinxx. What's going on there?
Mishka's, she's like surviving here. It's not her like favorite place to be, but that bar, but they gotta get a start for their cult somehow.
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of hopes that none of these people will be there.
Okay, and of course, Jess, Therzee.
Therzee never wants to run into an incubus again, except he was really handsome. Like,
Maybe you could just stop by one more time.
one more time on her.
Yeah, you'll totally be fine.
Just one more. Just once. And yeah. Other than that, she's having a fine time. Car beasts are fun and quick.
So, yeah. Last time they got a job at the Little Kraken, run by one of the halfling cousins that you keep dealing with. This one is, as I said, a club where it's partially strip club, striptease show, partially place where gangs hang out, partially probably brothel. Though you haven't been in those backroom areas, so you don't actually know what happens back there. Mm-hmm. And you three got jobs as waitresses, effectively, or hostesses, somewhere in between the two of those. And we're working the show floor. Therzee met a very handsome man who offered some extra money for a special time, and she went for the special time, and she didn't die. Good on her.
Well, some kind of special time, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping he was into, like, feet or something.
Instead of soul-sucking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so you've gotten steady incomes. Ish.
Take soul-sucking boyfriend to a whole new meaning.
Mm-hmm. So, and I believe your discussion was you were leaning more towards looking for an apartment rather than a house right now. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so far, you had been kind of looking into that. So why don't we continue with, or you had your imp friend, Zarin, looking into that a little bit on the cell phone while you were at work. After your second day of work, where you're finally getting home, again, it's pretty late, or early, hard to say, you have a really probably weird sleep schedule at this point in time, You switch your sleep spell to definitely nocturnal very quickly. I guess it's a cult thing. You were used to nocturnal.
I mean, cults run better at night.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those natural things. Just, I don't know, shadows, darkness, cultiness. All works together. But, so, Zarin will, of course, be, hey! I've had some luck, other than the weird things I found on this thing. So, looks like, there's a couple of places in town, depends on which section of town you want to go to. If we're looking to, get something near us in here in, Upper Town, it's relatively cheap. But, you know, it's, crapshoots of, quality. Probably going to be small, probably going to be, pretty filthy. But, you know, how much you're used to that, I don't know. I don't really care about filth or not. Old Town, a little expensive, it seems, in comparison for these prices, if I'm reading them right. Downtown the same, New Town, kind of in the middle, and not many people seem to live in the Midtown section. They got some apartments in there, but I don't know, they just seem really expensive for not that great. Maybe it's access, I guess, if you're in that section of town. There's what, like, really tall buildings and a visitor center there? Maybe that stuff's important. Kind of like, you know, having a big golden crown or something, except it's, I got me as an apartment in Midtown. Up yours, folks.
Weird.
I know.
He picked up the lingo whilst he was in that ring.
He's too much on the internet now.
Oh no, he's found Reddit.
That's where he's looking at poems.
You have no idea what he's been doing. He's an eternal demon that does not, or devil that does not need to sleep. You have no idea what he's been doing for hours upon hours on that phone. And the thing is, it's probably not like, when you think about like looking at a small screen for us, he is tiny. This is
That's
like,
just like him on his computer.
yeah, it's like him on a computer.
Oh no.
On a big desktop, it's great.
Yes.
While we're busy watching mindless shows, he's using the internet.
For way too many hours.
Oh no. He's gonna
Yeah, I
start
mean-
showing us about those mayonnaise soon.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine what happens when, like, a human stays up till 3 a.m. on the computer.
But he doesn't sleep, so he's just up constantly doing it.
Oh no. He's gonna need to get glasses. That's what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think we should look into?
Well, something nearer to work would be preferable.
So that, you're working Upper Town, I assume? So, you got an address for that? I could, put into the search, map search thing here.
Well, we haven't told the actual address. Do we just get directions?
No, I don't think you were.
Yeah.
We know the name at least.
Yes, you know the name.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see here. Let me look this up here. He's like pushing buttons on there. He's like pressing it down like Little Kraken Calimport. Okay, I got me an address. So it's a pretty nice section of Upper Town there. And by nice, I mean slightly less seedy than a block down the road.
Well, that's comforting.
Yeah. Good news! There does seem to be an apartment building a block down the road.
Is it within our price range?
What was our price range?
Not a lot.
I feel like we were making decent.
Yes, you're making pretty decent money at a sleazy club, so probably under the table at a sleazy club.
Isn't it like 150 each time we all work, and then
Yeah, 150 each time you
4
work.
days a week?
4 days a week, yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yes.
I just woke up. Math is really hard.
Of a 10-day week, 3 weeks a month? I think that's correct, with a couple of holidays in the middle to make it, with 5 holidays in between months. Because, of course, rather than have 5 extra days tacked onto months, you have special days which are not part of any months that are just holidays in general.
That's a terrible system.
That's how they have 365 days.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. I always found
I don't see the
calendar
reasoning
system
behind
to be
this.
really weird.
I don't get it.
Look, we all have to thank Gary Gygax for insane plans. Thank you, Gary Gygax. Or R.L. Salvatore, because he did a lot of crap for Faerun thanks to Dritz. So he might have been like, what did you do, Gary Gygax? I'm going to make it worse! The two of them combined somewhere has a lot of this goddamn lore, so blame them. But, yes, so...
600 a week, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 600 a week, 3 weeks. You get about 1,800. If you assume about half of your amount for an apartment, he can find you an apartment actually in Upper Town for about. The cheapest he can find is about 500. The most expensive is around 1,000. If he's staying close to the price range of like half the amount you earn right now.
Although I'll be honest, it's probably better than Rome's calendar system.
Probably.
Because Rome had a standard calendar system, which I think were like 30-day months or something like that. And then when things got off, they had to fix the calendar manually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound good either.
I mean, I can barely keep track of the months as we have it now, so that just wouldn't work.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. There's such great holidays as Midwinter, which is a day, or green grass. Or, oh my god, they do have a leap year day. They have Shield Meet, which is right after Midsummer, once every 4 years. Freaking A.
Oh my gosh. Ridiculous.
I hope it's nothing like Midsummer the movie, because that would be horrifying if that happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it would fit in, probably.
Yeah, no, it would 100% actually fit in.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'm just not gonna say that it could be, but, you know... It's the middle of the year, in between Flame Rule and Elasis.
What do you do on Flame Rule?
It's the month of Flame Rule.
Do you just gonna light fire to things, or?
Is
that like that fireworks night?
Well, if Midsummer is the middle of summer, I mean, it's Flame Rule is the month before it. It's hot.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But, anyway. They have very interesting names of months now that I've got this in front of me. I'm just gonna say that. Thanks, Faerun. Thanks, Gary Gygax, damn it.
Gary.
So, yeah. I'll figure out your exact date you're in right now, too, because I have a calendar now, and I probably should. So yeah, so those are the price ranges he can find between. It seems like, for something on the cheaper side, it would be definitely saving more money, but it's a smaller room, really only like, 1 bed. You'd have to share it, and someone would have to sleep on the floor or a couch or something. And, probably a lot of, dirt vermins or something. Maybe some, crimes outside. Seems like there's an entire section of town that's not policed as well. I guess when you got a town this big, it's hard to keep enough guards to keep things in order. Then again, in the old days, there was always the thieves' guilds. They just got something slightly different now.
Well, if we have, I could probably continue sleeping in the bathtub. It's kind of nice in there.
I don't know. I feel like we should probably get something a little bit more comfortable if we're going to try to work out of it as well, with the cult and all.
Because right now you're earning only $100 a week between all of you because it's $50 a night and you have $600 you're earning. So it's not really good profit here at the motel.
Yeah.
We can try and aim for something without vermin. But like vermin's just gonna
Well,
hinder some progress with the cost of dealing with it.
looks like there's a little slightly nicer place for about 1,000 a month.
Could be free food.
I think you're the only one week, but
But yeah, about 1,000 a month. You can get. We can find a slightly better place. Still not great, but looks like it's got 2 bedrooms, a common room, and where everything else is, and not the worst part of the neighborhoods. Relatively safe, I'll say. Looks like there's one of the what you call it, guard or police stations, about an hour away, or a block away from there. This one here. It's a couple blocks farther than the other one to get to your work, but it's still closer than we are here. I guess if you get the city guards nearby, it keeps the crime down.
Sounds pretty standard for a town, city.
that one sounds like it'd be a good place to be.
Do we need to get one of those cards you were talking about? Does it say?
No, I don't think so. For this one, I can, I've already signed up for a mailing address a little while ago. Apparently you needed one of them for some of these places. I looked into it. If you need something, it's... God.
Is that one of those PO boxes that TV's always shouting about?
No. It's similar, but it's for messages on this thing here.
Oh. See.
Gonna get tons of messages. It's just like, sexy orcs near you.
And then he's gonna
and he, oh gosh, that phone probably has so many viruses.
Oh yeah.
So it's zarenrules@deepdark.com is his email address. He totally found like an email group for like creatures of the Underdark and totally pretended to be one of them.
Better email address than mine.
It works at least. That's what we need.
So if you ever need to provide a mailing address, a electronic mailing address, this is the one to use.
Very well.
So apparently I can contact them and give them my phone number from this site, which appears to be more reputable than this site over here. I think. And then we can have a meeting and arrange to see this room. I'll try to put it in the day before you guys go to work. How's that sound?
That sounds
like
excellent.
a good plan. Yeah.
Right. Or on one of your days off. I keep forgetting you have them. You really should do something else during your days off.
But we might miss the show.
But you don't know if Philippe will ever get together with Doomfang.
He's been receiving secret love letters and we don't know who from.
We need to know.
Who's the father?
All of them.
All of them. Ugh. What kind of magic was used there? Don't ask. Alright, so Zirin will arrange for a meeting with the people from there for 2 days' time. So you can easily rest up. I'm assuming that with the schedule we gave you, I think you have a day off. Was it, oh god. I have to remember, I didn't write down the days I gave you. Damn it. I think it was 2, 4... Oh, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Who
right.
do we appreciate?
I know. So, you came in on, we'll say, the 3rd day, or 13 maybe. It was just 4, so he's arranged for a meeting on the 6th. So, tomorrow you have off. What do you plan on doing with your day off? Anything in particular?
Maybe we could go to the church or something. To see who's there, see if we can, like, start picking out people.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so you're heading for the church again. Alright, it won't take you long to get there. You can arrange to find a place where, using your bus maps, you can figure out, because you basically took all of them, you can figure out where to get on a bus closer to here. Of course, you don't really necessarily have a bus pass, but, you can figure something out. But, it won't take you very long to eventually get...
Actually, yeah, I will ask about, how much time has passed since, like, you know, the last game? Has there been any time skip, or has it just been...
A day.
Like, right into it?
A day. I kind of
About a day?
Yeah, about a day. I'm just saying, kind of like, I just had you go through your... I didn't even, like, go through your second day of work, basically. I'm like, I gave you an idea of how your work is. You just had your second day. It's pretty much the same. All of you seem to be pretty well assigned to the areas you're in. There was a couple of switching around during the evening, but other than that, like, you know, just to move around as some people went on breaks and stuff.
Because I was just like, if a week has passed, if like at least a week had passed, I probably would have looked into a permanent bus pass. But
all right. Yeah. No week has not passed yet, as of yet, though.
yeah.
So, okay. So you can get bus passes again. Turns out you can get, like, passage. You can figure out using the maps. One of you roll intelligence, we'll say, to figure out the best way to kind of do this here.
Who has the best intelligence?
I don't know.
I
I have +0.
I have 14 and then the +2, I think.
Yeah, I have a +2, and at the bottom it says 15.
Those are pretty close to each other.
Okay. Because I have really good, like, because I'm trained in most of the intelligence skills, I'm pretty good at those rolls, but when it comes to the actual intelligence roll itself, not that great.
I'll just roll it, I guess.
I believe.
Did I even click it? I don't know.
Now that I think about it, kind of fits my
There it is.
character.
I did it twice by accident.
Okay.
But the first one is...
It's not showing up for me. Let's see.
Oh, it took a while
there it
for
went.
me.
Yep, there it went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took a hot second for me too. That's why.
Roll 20 is probably just being a little slow today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 15 is good enough, though. You can tell that it looks like there are places where you can get bus passes marked here, so you can go to one of those. It'll be a little farther of a walk from the nearest bus pass. Like looking through these paperwork, you realize that it seems as though they expect you to get the passes before getting on the buses, rather than paying for them on the bus. And from your experience with the buses before.
I guess we should go get some new passes before we try going out again. When we go over there, can we see if there's like longer ones than just a day?
Okay, sure. You head through the place. It's a kind of it's much smaller than the building that was the visitor center. It's like a small like terminal area. It's got like an enclosed area with a little like food shop. Hi, Damien. As I was saying, like a little food shop, like maybe a little deli, and it's got a couple of windows where people can get passes. It seems like this is an area that's linked to a lot of buses that come into maybe not like a hub in this area. I would say this is like the upper town bus hub. If you inquire, it doesn't look like they have machines like they did in the other place. They have people at windows. Asking about longer passes, the lady behind there will be like, you can get a month pass or a year pass if you want.
How much are those?
The month pass with unlimited passes is... God, I have to think of like a bus pass cost now. God, and equate it in lira. Monthly unlimited bus pass, we'll say like 50 lira. I'll keep it simple in my brain. And it's 200 for yearly.
Well, a month should be
I think a month's
sufficient.
fine for now, yeah?
Should work for now.
Yeah.
Apparently some passes do a thing where it's like it charges you like a lower price automatically every time you ride. Whereas some are just, flat for a month. Sorry, I was just curious because I looked it up real fast.
I feel like those ones are a scam. I already paid once. You're making me pay each time I scan it now as well?
I think it's more you get like a pass that it's more like, yeah, I mean, I think the idea is just that you pay a small fee and then you get charged based on usage. But yeah,
it is a better deal if you use the bus a lot, but it's up to you. If you use the bus twice a day over the entire month, you would probably save your money. But if you only use the bus a couple of times a month, I would recommend just going for the daily.
You have to take the bus to work every time, right?
You haven't yet, but it does take a while to walk there.
Oh. Okay.
You did notice there was a bus that would cut it down. From the area where you've described where the apartment is, there is actually a bus that would take you through that area, though. So, like, if you get the apartment you're looking at, then yeah, the bus would be convenient for that. And the bus does cut your time in, like, I'd say maybe in half to take it to your work that you have currently now. It's still a bit of a walk. Just because you're outside the city proper, quite literally. You're like, you're like 15 minutes into the desert.
Yeah.
You've been staying... Not that you found any other place to stay, but you're staying in the motel that's literally the edge of the desert, hence its name.
Yeah. Do you guys think it's worth getting?
I think it's worth it. If we're gonna be going out to the church a lot as well, or other areas, I feel like it might be worth getting now.
Yeah, I say let's go for it.
Alright. I guess really best.
150.
I guess we just do 50 each, yeah? Or...
Oh, I can just cover it because I got my extra money from my near-death experience.
Okay.
That's a
Might
good,
as well use it.
it's a good use of money, near-death experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah. So you pay for bus passes for the month. She'll take a little time. She'll, like, it looks like she'll do some work setting up the passes, and then give them each out to you one at a time. It basically has, like, your name on it, some very basic information that she didn't even ask, like, questions that were hard. It's like, what's your name? You got an address you're staying at. You got, like, like, if you wanted to, you could either give the inn or just say getting an apartment. Up to you.
Yeah. Get one of those awkward, like, ID pictures.
They might have taken one of those too. Sure, why not? They've got like a very awkward picture that's like, it looks like you on there, but it's very awkward and kind of fuzzy and weird. But this is probably the best like version of you you've ever seen, like not in a mirror. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Such a quick painting.
Very odd. Wonder if they're using magic for this.
Anyway, thank you for your business. Enjoy your time on the buses.
The fake? She like slowly moves.
Next customer.
You sound like the accountant from Monsters Inc. Or the receptionist.
There's only so many voices I have for women, and so you're gonna have to enjoy the ones I give you. And this is the kind of accented one that sounds a little New Yorky, a little like that area.
It's Candy.
Oh god, yes. It is Candy. Oh god, I forgot.
The beautiful woman Candy.
Uh-huh.
Who, strangely enough, is from London, though.
Well, I can't do a very trashy British accent. I can do a trashy British accent, but it would probably be very Dick Van Dyke.
Even better.
Uh-huh. I'm not gonna try it. It's for the best until it's needed. One day it might be. So you have your bus passes. Congratulations. Do. Hold on.
I love like the question mark at the end of the sounds.
Well, it might be a victory, it might not be. I don't know at this point in time. But you have a bus pass.
Bus passes and jobs. It's
Yes.
incredible.
We're becoming real dope people things. I guess
Well,
we're on our
possibly.
way now.
Okay, you'll head to the church then. It's easy to get on the buses. This does require you to get on 2 separate buses. You take one into Midtown and then one from Midtown into downtown proper, where you found that church before. And once again, you arrive there. So what's your plan? Okay, that was the question that was going to come up.
Yep.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask everyone, so what's the plan for asking people? How are we gonna convince them?
I don't know. I figured we'd just see the people, see if they We planned on, like, watching them before, right? You just start
Perhaps-
researching?
Perhaps it might be good to get the general feel of the current. As far as I can tell, the religion at this point is a little bit, how to put it? Perhaps we should just get a feel for the current religious situation and see what we could use to our advantage.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
like a solid plan.
Effectively, we're people watching at a church.
Yeah. Definitely not. me.
Okay, so you're like sitting down in the church and just observing. Alright, give me at least perception if you want to give me, I guess, a religion check too. Depending on how you're looking at it. If you're just trying to observe the people... Actually, no. Let's go this way. If you're just trying to observe the people in general, give me insight. If you want to try to understand a little bit more of the religion, give me a religion check.
Okay.
We'll say you're spending a couple hours doing this.
I'm going to give both, because both are actually pretty decent rolls for me.
Okay.
I do a little bit better at the religion side.
I wanted to do both too. That didn't work at all for me. But that one did!
Alright,
Her obsession with this religion is very helpful.
so, Mishka, Vercel, the two of you are definitely going to be, focusing on the religion aspect more. That's what you kind of notice more out of everything. You can see that the religion, it seems very watered down from some of the ceremonies that you are familiar with. The basic part of the day seems to be a lot of parishioners coming in and giving thanks to the various kind of like little like shrines I discussed, which seem very generic even then too, or talking to some of the priests and brothers that seem to be here. About midday, there was a ceremony that lasted for about an hour, which again seemed quite generic. If they were like talking about the divine as a whole, as if like the divine energies, it seems like their beliefs put that the divine energy of the universe is manifested through the gods of old. That was the way that it manifested. Since the gods of old have stopped speaking, whether like they may exist, but now people, rather than connected to them, are connected to the divine energy that they come from. The divine energy of the universe itself, which they don't actually like seem to describe as a person, more or less, more like an energy that sort of balances out the world as people balance it out. So it does try to teach basically being a good person in society, it seems. The words that they kind of go for, and kind of fitting in with the norms. That keeps everything in balance. So they do seem to have a very, like, don't rock the boat kind of attitude, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Therzee, you kind of observe that a lot of people that are coming in tend to be older people. There's a couple of families that come in. It looks like for small ceremonies or for arranging stuff with the priests. It seems like everybody that comes in is concerned about something when they come in. You get the feeling of that. When the ceremony starts, they're talking about some stuff. Whatever. You pick up a little bit of it. You get a gist of what they're talking about, but it's sitting through like a mass when you aren't really that interested at all. You're bored. Though a lot of people are very into it, it seems like, and at that point in time, a lot more people showed up. It looks as though, again, it's a lot of elderly people are here for this. By this time, most of the families that did show up had very young children, it looked like. And now for this kind of ceremony, it's mostly those elderly people with a couple of middle-aged people, and a couple young people that look like they might be part of some kind of organization. They seem to be dressing very similarly. After the ceremony finishes up, though, everything seems to return to the way it was after a little while. The people, like, some of them will leave, some will give their thanks to various places throughout the temple, others will go up to one of the priests. It's kind of similar to what they did before, but there's a lot more, like, there's some lines for things kind of at this point in time, because there's a lot more people here. But eventually everybody will start to leave. At this point in time, you do notice that one of the brothers kind of like will start walking over towards you.
Oh no, not again.
Excuse me, parishioners, can I assist you? You've been here quite a while now. I assumed you had been just arrived early to wait for the sermon, but you seem to be waiting for something now that it is complete. Can I help you with that? Or is it just you're deep in your own prayers to the great divine?
More curiosity. We have not attended this. We have not attended this church before.
Ah! You're accustomed to a smaller one of our buildings, I'm assuming then. Well, yes, we are one of the largest churches in this area. So I am glad that you have come and chosen to continue your worship of the great divine here. Well, I understand everything, and one of a great building such as ourselves can be overwhelming. But if you have any questions or need to seek any answers from us, please feel free to ask, or just give thanks at one of the many the shrines, the great elements of our world.
Odd.
I'll return to my work, but if you need anything, I can stop by a little later. Thank you for at least considering us to be your place of worship now that you're here, and to continue seeking the great divine. May it bless all in the universe as it is all around us. He'll leave then.
That guy is weird.
This religion is much pushier.
Very. I don't quite like it.
I feel like most people probably got coerced into this to get him to stop talking.
Probably.
Stop talking.
I don't like how those brothers walk around. Seem too high and mighty for their own good.
To me, it seems like they've given themselves these ranks rather than been appointed to them.
Well,
I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I was going to say something was going to happen, but you can finish what you're saying before it does.
I was just like, I don't think they're up to very much good.
As you kind of finishing your conversation, though, some of those people like that was dressed in like the kind of matching, semi-matching outfits, I would call them, is kind of saunter over to you, ladies, enjoying your giving to the great divine here today. Of course, as a fellow that worships this great place to keep our souls and our spirits suffering. I understand that we all have to do that, but maybe perhaps we can escape from this place. It seems like you three are having some crisis of faith, maybe. Perhaps we can go somewhere, get a bite to eat with a couple of my friends. We can discuss your crisis of faith on a more different tone.
Misha's kind of like
Insight check.
narrowing her eyes at them.
Go ahead and roll that insight.
Nope.
Should we all do an inside check?
If
or-
you want.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
trust
sure.
these people in their weird robes.
Yeah.
So this is one of the, as I said, this is one of those group of people that
Oh,
are,
I did even.
yeah.
Ah, we're so bad.
I mean, it does
We don't-
seem like he wants to discuss things religiously with you, and he is offering you a bite to eat with him, and like, it looks like of his group that came in, which, as I said, were similarly dressed. It was kind of like some kind of uniform. There was about 10 of them. It looks like about 4 are left. You do see that there's a couple that seem to be hanging out by the door, though, too. So 2 more.
Very well. Why not? I'm not one to pass up free food.
I suppose so. Misha doesn't really trust anyone, so she's still very like,
Yes.
fine.
So, what brings you ladies to this portion of town?
You know, checking out the local people.
Have you enjoyed things as they are around here?
It's quite odd.
Odd, you say?
The city is very busy.
That's true, but you have to find the pleasant places to it. The man's gonna kind of lead you down, and there's gonna be this long car beast, like probably twice the length of anyone from before, down there. And 2 of the men are gonna be down by the door, kind of opening it for him, the 3 of you, and the 4 friends to go into, as there's this kind of like circle of seats, I should say. Ladies, if you would, please. My esteemed gentleman here will drive us to a nice place to get us some food, where we can discuss, having some friendly time here and some religious connotations of the world.
Is some kind of flat bus beast?
Really quite an odd one. It's very big.
Never been in a limo before? Now's your lucky day.
A limo cart. Sounds.
You folks talk kind of strange, but you're pretty good looking, so we'll work with this.
Yeah, that makes me just shrink a little bit. Like, not again. Not more of these people. She doesn't need more of these people who keep complimenting them in weird ways.
Well, I'm gonna clamber on in.
Okay.
I'm curious.
He is an elven man too. It seems like all of them are elves.
Oh. You should have said that. I
She just
suspiciously
slowly gets in.
gets in.
Wow, you goddamn racists.
No, Misha just doesn't trust people in general, and she doesn't like these weird compliments that she keeps getting. She doesn't
My
appreciate
character is racist against elves for a very specific reason.
this. Misha just only knows how to study things, okay?
I believe I haven't introduced myself to all of you. I am Therzee TC. These are my associates. We're going to be going to some traditional elven cuisine, if you do not mind. I'm sure we can find something a little bit more meat-rich, for my reptilian friend here. Yes.
There is no need. I've had more, I can handle elven cuisine.
Excellent. Boys, the normal place. So they'll drive through the streets for a while and take you to this this wonderful little, actually, kind of cafe area that seems to have this motif of like wood and leaves and stuff too. And definitely, like, the tables seem to be like almost crafted out of like a piece of log rather than like, you know, pieces of wood and stuff. So everything like has this very beautiful look to it. As he kind of will sit down, and there's some like lyre music in the background of someone like doing like a little lyre with some old, like very old elven music. As they'll sit down on a kind of a large round table and enjoy some food for a while. And he'll keep the conversation light, seemingly more like, so, do you three go to church very often?
Where we're from, we don't have this religion.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you were interested in conversion, perhaps?
Not quite.
Nice girls like you deserve to be a little bit religious, as we all are in this day and age. Well, those of us that stick close to our families. And family is important. Now, granted, you know, my boys, they say, you know...
When he says family is important, my eyes narrow.
My boys here, they've always said that, you know, some things have always been interesting with our relationships in our lives. And we've always been looking for some nice girls like yourselves to spend some time with and to, you know, broaden our horizons. You know, when you keep too much to your own family, things can get a little dry. And in the lives of one such as myself and our family here, it can be very difficult. One of the men in that kind of was it was a larger elven man who was kind of like you're guessing maybe like a guard or something, will kind of come up to him and like whisper something in his ear. And if you want to try to overhear it.
Oh yeah.
Perception, please, then.
Totally.
Why not?
God damn it.
I'm terrible, but great.
These are supposed to be the things I'm good at.
So, yeah, he'll do a little kind of like whisper. You can't really make out what he says, but he says, "Excuse me, it seems that I must make a phone call. There's some business that is up ahead. Something to take care of. Gentlemen, if you should continue to enjoy time with the ladies, I shall return shortly." It seems like only two of the other men that were with him originally are here. One of them left in his own vehicle after just a brief discussion when you were all getting in. One of the guards kind of follows him, and the other one's still just been actually hanging around. You actually do see them kind of like just hovering in the room, not eating. The kind of guard people, just hovering. You see him.
Are we at the place with food already?
You are at the place with food now. You basically have been like sitting around, and some food's getting served too. Like some actually like pretty nice elven dishes, very traditional stuff, not like super expensive stuff, just like things you would have traditionally found.
I cast Detect Poison and Disease.
It's fine.
Amazing.
Oh, you're a master of spellcasting, is that right? I dabble a little bit myself, you know, the bloodline and all, you know, being you know, high elf and all. But you know, my cousin's a forest elf doesn't get into that stuff very much. Wood elf or something like that. I don't know what they call them this day. They call themselves this day and age. But very interesting. You dab a little darker into it. Have you ever thought of going on as a spell for hire? Perhaps, you know, with one of your abilities, you could do some things. Certain things that magic can't do that other techniques, well, can replicate, but are not as good at. I'll let the Don talk to you about that.
First off, do I detect poison?
No, not at all.
Okay. Then I do respond though. What kind of... I have noticed that magic seems to be rarer. What sort of...
Well, those of us that have it innate can still do our normal things, you know? But, you know, just like ourselves, we still have our gifts. It's one of the reasons the family stays strong. But the families are growing weaker and smaller as the ages go on. Too many of the humans and stuff. So that is why the Dawn has decided to introduce you to us. And perhaps to expand things in a way. Any problems, Don Therzee? No, nothing wrong. We can continue our dinner, and it will be taken, or our luncheon, and we can take care of it afterwards. But boys, seems like I'm trying to think of a good. Give me a second here. The Black Crystal family is once again trying to muster into our territory. Bloody drows. They should stay to the Underdark. In their own territories. Is what we have to do. Anyway, ladies, perhaps we should get back down to lunch. And let's take our first break here.
Okay. Crystal family.
As you've now met.
Mob style.
Apparently, some kind of mobster's son has taken an interest in us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be safe to decline them now.
Elven mafia. So it's basically, instead of Italian, it's Elven.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's
so
not going to be safe.
it's probably not. Anyway, yeah, we'll take a quick break here, and we'll come back after the break. If you need a bathroom break, grab a snack, grab a drink, go ahead and do it, and we'll be back shortly. So see you in a little bit, folks.
Bye.